Alright, here we are at the suburban compost pile again. And getting a little more volume in there. You can see right here that I've got some raccoons or some possums digging in here. But look at this dirt that is coming out of the bottom of my compost pile. I mean, this is awesome. And if you subscribe to the Gaia hypothesis, which is that the earth is alive, we are living on the body of God, basically, right? That the earth is alive, we are part of that. And for someone like me, who's basically essentially a modern pagan, making dirt like this, making Mother Earth like this, wow. I'm creating God. I'm making her better and more healthy. And as being a part of that deal, I often put in parts of myself into my compost pile. Now, this guy's big. This is a big compost pile. It takes a lot of stuff to really fill it up. But you can see at the bottom there, in a year, it created dirt. But because it's got such a large volume and I haven't filled it up, I'll probably still let things kind of stew here. Though occasionally I will come up and maybe take some of that dirt at the bottom that the possums have dug out, or the raccoons, whoever was there looking for beetle grubs or whatever, earthworms. But back to adding yourself to your compost pile, because I do it. Being of the gender I am, it's quite easy to urinate into my compost pile. I'm not going to regale you with that, but it does add, nutrients, and it's essentially, antiseptic when it comes out. There's no diseases in it that, like a bowel movement might have in it. So, if you're a man, pee in your compost pile every once in a while. But I add other stuff. Occasionally I like to throw my fingernails in there. And many times I will do this, cut my hair, and I save my hair. And I'm going to throw it in here. And the stuff that comes out of the bottom of this compost pile is going to be partly me. Might as well throw this in here too. You see how there's no ink on here? There's no pattern on here. It's paper. It's going to break down. There you see my latest couple of mornings of coffee in here as well. I'm going to cover this up like this. Probably wet it down later. Throw some more stuff over the top. But composting and gardening, this is what I mean by gardening as a spiritual pursuit. Because I'm not going to church. My garden, the compost pile, the biodensity I create, that's my church. And as the winter solstice approaches, all good pagans know that that's a special day. And that's really where Christmas is derived. It's the winter solstice festivals of the pagans. Saturnalia, etc. Anyway, I wanted to show you how I actually add myself. My garden is part of me in a way many other people's gardens are not. You go to the store and buy some dirt and throw it down. It's not the same as making the dirt. I'll tell you, the dirt you make is way better. And there's a special feeling to know that this, the body of God, as it were, is also made up of you, that you're in here. It's a pretty special feeling, honestly. I encourage all of you to add hair and fingernails, and maybe urinate in your compost pile if your children or your spouse tolerate it. There's no safety issue with that. But don't add bowel movements. E. coli. That's why Chipotle has E. coli problems, in my opinion. organic gardening can actually, if you have uncomposted cow manure and stuff like that that hasn't totally broken down, it can have E. coli on it. And so it's not necessarily dirty farm workers, but rather actually the organic gardening paradigm that can make E. coli more common. So you have to be careful if you're doing this stuff in your own yard. You know, don't add stuff, you know, like bowel movement and meat that can really, you know, cause problems for you as far as, you know, the bacteria and other things that will attack that. But, you know, hair, fingernails, urine, those are pretty good things to add that are part of you. Your DNA is going to be part of that compost pile. I'm going to take this stuff here, I'm going to throw it back in the top because it's obviously been breaking down. There's actually bacteria and such in here that will assist in the breakdown process of this stuff that's new on the top. What's this? A rock in the compost pile. Made its way out. The main thing about this chain link stuff too here, this chicken wire, is that you do get this kind of stuff happening at the bottom where you can come and kind of dig in here and you can fill up a pot maybe for a house plant or something like that. Alright. One of these days I'm going to put my face on camera, I guess. But there are the hands. The hands of a gardener better be dirty, or he ain't doing anything.